Hello, hello. Welcome to the channel. My name's Nobby. Thank you for tuning in to episode 48 of our Path of Exile Affliction League beginners playthrough. We are playing Zizaran Boneshatter Slayer. We are now level 73. Our resistances are a minimum of 105, so we are overcapped enough that they won't matter when we take the hit. We are closing in on the Act 10 boss. We need to go and do the Chamber of Innocence, get the Staff of Purity, and then we need to do a bit of a mop-up. We need to go and do the lab. The Merciless lab is the third lab that we can do before maps. We need to go and do that and get the 5 and 6 points. We need to also go and just do a quick passive mop-up, make sure we've got all our passive points, and that's something I promised in an earlier episode. I'll show you how to do that in case you've missed any optionals. So we need to go and do that as well. We have got, I'll just reconfirm, we have got our nice 6-link axe that I bought. I may have overpaid for this, but I don't care. We're getting into maps soon, so it'll carry us all the way through maps, that, to be fair. Right, into the square. We need to go to the Chamber of Innocence first and get this Staff of Purity. A quick sanity check when we zone in, because it doesn't show in the home zone. Just make sure we've got all our auras on, which we can tell because we're only carrying 38 mana. We need to just zerg around here because we need to get find a way to destroy the horns is to get the Staff of Purity. So we need to go do that. This axe should do a nice good bit of damage for us. A blue mana flask, we'll have a look. You'll notice as well, I am still carrying, whether I should or not, people will tell me I shouldn't be. I should be on utility flasks now. I am still carrying 2 life flasks and a mana flask. It's just the way I like to run through Acts 1 to 10 and into the maps. I just do like to have the option of not running out. Makes me feel safer. It's probably a mind thing, you know. It's a mind game I play with myself. I always carry 2 life flasks and a mana flask. If you watch the Toxic Rain playthrough, I did exactly the same there. Hopefully some of you guys now, if you've got this far, you're obviously probably ahead of me. You're already into maps, possibly. Hopefully some of you have caught the little top 10 tips video I did. I'm sure some of you have. It's mainly tips I go through on these playthroughs anyway. Prime example being the, you know, try and average 300 to 350 life per act. I could actually do with a bit more myself. But I hope they're helpful for a few of you as well. You know, follow a build guide. Absolutely follow a build guide on your first playthrough. You can always have a mess around second and third time. When you understand how the gems work, the links work, maybe you understand the wording of the damage modifiers, for example. It would be no good us at this stage carrying spell damage, because it wouldn't matter. Excuse me 1 second. I thought I was going to sneeze then. You know, one of them that's right on the end of your nose and then it disappears. It was teasing me. I hate them sneezes, you know. Ah, we've got the Syndicate again. Excellent. Another chance to get a crafting recipe. So for those of you asking about the Syndicate, I do not know how to min-max it. However, I did find a cheat sheet, and it is linked in every video going forward. So, if you look at the video description of this, you will find a cheat sheet. Hillock. Hillock moves to intervention. If we execute him, he'll be imprisoned, but we'll get +1 intervention intelligence per turn. Or we can release him, we gain no intelligence, and there'll be no change to the Syndicate. Go on then, let's release him. He still drops some gear. And these are the important things we want, because we want to unveil these. It doesn't matter. Let's execute you. Why not? I don't know where you should be. I can't carry anymore. Right. Let's get rid of that. We'll take that, because I do want to unveil things. Okay, let's bargain with you. Why not? What are you going to drop? A ring and a bow. There we go. Let's just go and get some crafting recipes. That's what we want from here. Unveil. Mana and energy shields when you're focused. Avoid elemental damage from hits during soul gain. Regenerate energy shield per second. We'll take that. I don't think we're going to use it, but we'll take the level up on that one. There was a ring, wasn't there? This one. What are you going to do? Endurance charges. Endurance charges are okay. Global fizz damage and increased chaos damage doesn't help. Dex and int is all right. Unfortunately, you've not got much else going for you, but that could have been a good ring for us if it had more more resistances. The dex and the int are the two sort of off skills we need. The bow doesn't really matter. Increased damage per power charge. Well, let's take that. That might come in handy for us later on if we can put that onto something. And this one... spell damage. No, increased fizz. Poison on hit, not really, but we'll take the increased fizz. There we go. Okay, lovely. Oh, no. I was going to say, I think that was all of them. Not quite. What's this one going to give us? Armor evasion, max life, and life regen. We'll take on that. Again, it's not one we're going to equip, but the ability to craft that could be nice. Excellent stuff. Right. You are done. We could do with possibly going back and selling, couldn't we? Let's go in here. Didn't drop anything. Okay. I do like the burst damage on this now. When we hit that first time, everything just explodes. More currencies. I can't really carry anything else, but I'm going to keep going. Pretty sure just before the Chamber of Innocence we'll come across a waypoint, but we may need to portal out before then. We'll have a look. I do also want to say, those of you that have watched the top 10 video, or not, if you haven't, it doesn't matter. You'll have had all the tips in here anyway. I do want to say a massive thank you for your support, guys. We are, at the time of recording this, we're closing in on 120 subs. The videos are doing really well on views as well. The first night they go up, I know I'm keeping them regular. 8 o'clock UK time every night they go up. So I know that does help. Some of you will be waiting for them. But you guys that are liking, commenting, helping the channel grow, I really do appreciate it, guys. It is always and will always be and has always been the idea of being a hobby channel anyway. Me and Rach do work full time, so we can't afford the time to just smash out content. But the support's been fantastic, guys. It really has. So thank you very much. Right, let's go do a sell. Let's go do a quick sell.
Yes.
I don't think there was anything else to look at. That ring, not enough. That's not really good enough. That's just a plain old Eternal. No, I think we are on a full sell here. There we go. Okay.
Remember, we do this for freedom.
Do we have any full decks of divination cards? Let's have a look. Do we have any full decks? No, we still don't have any full decks. Right then. That's where we are. Okay, let's push through here. I'm going to say, where is everyone? Ah, Delirium mirror. Right, well, we'll have this. That'll up the ante a little bit, I reckon. What are we dropping? Weapons, apparently. Okay, let's see if we can't speed up a little bit through here. 14%, not good enough, that one. Crafting recipe again. Accuracy. You notice how I do say we do need to speed up through here now because the Delirium sort of force us to speed up. Yeah, I'm still not going very fast, am I? Not compared to some of them, you see. Utility flask. Alright, we're nearly at the end of it now. That's it, I think. We are done. Okay, cluster jewel.
I believe in traveling light.
Couple of bits to take. I am just going to take the axe. It is two-handed. It's probably worth a look, even though we're on a 6 link. I am pretty sure it ain't going to be an upgrade, but you never know. You're going to be a chromatic recipe. All right, let's get rid of that. We'll take that instead. Everything leveling up. Blue life flask will be worth a look. Although we're quite okay with ours at the minute, I think. A divine, which is bleed, and an eternal, which is a bit of like a very quick recovery and immunity to burning. What are we on? We're on episode 48, aren't we? I reckon it's still going to be episode 50 before we do this final boss and get into maps. I knew it would be. Now, hopefully, what you guys will realise is your second and third time through here, you will realise that you can sort of burn through the axe a little bit, a lot quicker, to be fair. You know, you'll get into the habit of just knowing where the objectives are, especially if you play every league. Excuse Alexa shouting at us to inject the cat. Down here, I can fit these. I can take those, just with them being mainly armor based. They might be worth a look. We might want to do a quick portal here and sell, I think. Anything worth looking at? The flask? No. Definitely not. Okay. Max life is very nice. No resists, unfortunately. Max life is really nice on those. Cold and lightning resist. Life regen. It's not bad. We'd lose 78 life, though. 22 and 9. Nope, not good enough. A cluster jewel. I don't think we've had one of these. Now, this build doesn't require it. Our Toxic Rain one did, if you watched that. But what these do... Let's just get rid of those. You can still turn these magic and rare. And you can still re-roll them, because it may have specific modifiers that you want. But on your skill tree, you may get a build that wants you to put a gem in one of these sockets here. And what that does with a cluster jewel, it opens up effectively another little bit of a tree. And depending on what the modifiers and depending on what your build requires, you may find you need the cluster jewels. There's a few of these around the edges. There's another one up there, you see. So if you ever come across cluster jewels, They may be a requirement for your build. They go in these sockets at the end here and basically just open up an extra bit of a tree. Now, luckily for us, this build doesn't require it. The same as this build, even though it's a two-handed weapon, so we've got the chest and the weapon that could have 6 links. We only require 1 with 6 links, so we've got a couple of options with swapping and changing. For example, if we got a 6-link chest that was decent, we could then forego the 6 links on the axe and just look for pure fizz damage. There are options for us, which is why I went for this build. It's a very good, what they call a league starter stroke budget build. So you could effectively have fun with this one solo self-found, I reckon. Not that we have. I bought an axe. But I did that. I just want maps to be a bit easier. And we have the divine anyway, so who cares, you know. Right. There we go. That was nice and quick. Another blue flask to look at. Deliver the staff to Bannon. Are you going to be back at town then? I think you possibly are. You are indeed. Right. We are now getting to the point of having to go and see the final boss.
I fear I have not been in.
Talk to Lanny.
Bannon was a man.
Right. Pure armor. Pure armor. The flask. Nope. The armor. Cold resist, only 8 lightning resist, life regen, a little bit of max life. That'll be a no. Okay.
For freedom.
Right then, well. We are now heading to final boss at Kitava's Horns. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you in chat. If you just type /passives, it'll show you a list of all the quests that give passive skill points. And if we were missing any, you'd look for a 0 down here. Now, it does actually look like we did skip one optional boss. Now, that optional boss must have only give a passive respec point. It looks like we have got all of them, which is excellent, to be honest. I'll take that. Usually, I have a couple of 0s in here because I've skipped some of the optional sort of mini bosses, you know, the Pantheon ones. So we've done all right there. We managed to get all of them. Excellent. But if you were missing a few, now would be a great time to go and just mop up, make sure you've got all the passives that are available for you. Before you do the final lab, you need to also make sure you're going to go and do your final lab before the final boss fight. Otherwise, you're going to take that 30% hit on your resistances, and then you may find the lab super tricky. Plus, also, don't forget your ascendancy points. That'll give us 2 more. So we'll be up to 6. Which are going to go here, which is more increased attack damage and life leech as well. And with those, we can then start looking at probably refunding this attack damage because we've got a lot more in here. And then we'll spec out the tree as the Path of Building wants us to. We're going for these leech nodes here, Vitality Void, the Mastery here as well we need to get, and then I need to be looking at Val Pact, which is double life leech, but we don't regenerate life passively if we just stood still, effectively. Flasks will still work, we just don't passively get life regen unless we're leeching off somebody. Right, folks, a shorter video, but I think that will do. Next episode, we need to do the lab. We need to go and do final boss, Act 10, and then we'll get into maps, or we'll get into the epilogue, 4 maps anyway. So thank you for watching, folks. Really do appreciate it. Again, if you are enjoying, I know a lot of you are doing, but please drop a thumbs up on the videos. It massively helps the channel's visibility and recommendations to other people. If you are new, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are growing slowly, which is really nice. It's a natural growth. It's not just suddenly hyped up because somebody's found it and done a react video or something, you know. It's nice that it's just growing natural. Lots of you are commenting, which is fantastic as well. Start to build a little community here. So thank you very much, folks. I shall see you again very soon for episode 49, which should be the lab and the Act 10 boss. Take care.